Please put your hands together for Max Young Jones. On today's video, you're going to hear a cheerful young man tell a pretty sad story.
I decide to do what any nerdy person does. I throw a party, and everybody's only supposed to play Magic the Gathering because this is the life I live.
Now, maybe it's not fair that I called this a pretty sad story, considering that Max tells it as a saddish story. And it is a saddish story. I'm not going to give it away, but it is a story about some health issues and some family issues and perseverance. And isn't that what we all need? All of us have faced those things, family issues, health issues. And the way you get through it is getting through it with perseverance and saying, you know what, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit. I am, maybe you'll meet your breaking point, but the real test is, will you allow yourself to break? So that's kind of what this story is about. It's another heavy story, but thank you for tuning in today. If you want to hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date and be the first person to know when these videos come out, I guess you also have to hit the notification bell. I'm really new to this YouTube thing. You hit the notification bell and subscribe, and then when the video comes out, you get notified that it's out. I don't know. I'm used to podcasts where there's one button. And so the whole YouTube thing is weird. But yeah, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment telling what you think of the story and what you would do in this situation. And then finally, if you want to see this show grow and maybe get some more videos out more often, you can head on over to patreon.com/Madison Story Slam. And that is very much appreciated. Big shout out to all of our Patreons. So yeah, like I said, I don't think I said the guy's name. This is Max Young Jones, and he's definitely took some guts to get up on stage and tell this story. And it's kind of one of those things get better stories. And you'll hear from me again at the end because I get on stage and talk about some stuff after Max. So that's enough of me, doing this intro. Take it away, Max.
Jesus, right, these lights. Okay. So this is kind of a saddish story, but I'm going to tell it with a smile on my face because that's what you want to see. Yeah. All right. So I'm 23 and I am living in absolute squalor. Like, it's terrible. My house looks like shit. Everything's bad. Normal 23 things. It's fine. I'm still going to college. I am failing college, kind of, but that's sort of something that's kind of off the idea of my mind, and I'm not really paying attention to that because I'm too busy having sex with everything that moves. Yeah, I'm kind of what you call like a slutty gay, a bad gay. I don't know. I didn't really do like the drag thing, or I didn't really go out and like get drunk with bars. But I like wore very aggressive leather vests and like would hang out in bars and just sort of have fun. But if you're gonna do that, you really have to pay attention to like health things. I was good. I got checked up every 3 months. Did the whole thing, and so for my birthday, I decided it'd be a good idea for me to purchase PrEP, which is pre-exposure prophylactic, and it's sort of like the thing you take to like not get HIV and stuff. I had gotten some money prior because I had just written a play that gave me $500, which if you write anything, is not typical. So I felt rich, $500, so much. So my birthday, I go up, I'm like, hey, yeah, I really want to get this thing because I feel like it's going to do so much self-betterment. And they test me, whatever. They said like, oh, well, you're HIV positive. Sorry. Happy birthday. So I kind of black out for about 3 days. I don't really black out for about 3 days. I do everything you're supposed to do. Like I go to like the med center, the hospital. I go to like a whole bunch of different places. So for 3 days, I'm just getting my shit in order with my insurance, everything. The problem though is that I live in Virginia And I go to school in DC. It's just outside of DC, but like I live in my apartment. I take a bus to DC. And since I live in Virginia and I'm going to the best clinic in DC, I don't get normal DC coverage. So I use the family emergency credit card and like drop another $400. And that's a charge that's going to appear on like the family bill. So I have to tell my mom. I tell her over text because I'm a coward. And the answer I get back is, well, considering the kind of friends you hang around, I'm really not surprised. It's not great, which is fine. But after the 3 days, I do everything that I'm supposed to do. I'm not really so much worried about being positive. I'm just sort of worried about like other people. If you have any sort of invisible or visible disability, it's really other people that make it shitty, not really, yourself. But I like do everything I'm supposed to do in the 3 days. I have to wait back for pills and things. So I do, I decide to do what any nerdy person does. I throw a party and everybody's only supposed to play Magic the Gathering because this is the life I live. Some people know, some people don't. We have a great time, and then like I'm ugly crying when I'm about to like play a Magic card, and they're like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I can't tell you. It's fine. Don't worry. Just go to your next turn. It's fine." Without warning, my mom shows up, and she's taken a flight from Madison to Virginia. And I kind of am awkwardly there and I'm like, "Mom, what are you doing?" She's like, "I'm outside." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm having people over. I'm coming up." So she comes up and it's really not as bad as I think it is. Like she just kind of hugs me and she kind of sits down like, and she even tries to play Magic. It's kind of weird. I had to get someone and she tried to take my turn. It was very, very weird. And afterward we like talk and it's fine. And I don't feel like so bad, but honestly, that's not really the end of the story. So we talk and she's just like, "Okay, I know school isn't going great. I know this, because she can't even name it at this point, isn't going great. So I really, really want you to do things that make you happy and you're good at, which is your writing. You're really passionate about it, and you just got $500 for doing this playwriting thing." So I'm like, yeah, I'm a badass. I can do it, and especially when like the meds come in and everything's worked out. I'm like, yeah. So I write a poem that actually won an award. Get no money for it because that's really how writing works, but So I wrote a poem that got an award, which is based off of me coming out as HIV positive because, I've been in one closet. I don't really want to do it again. So I did what any millennial will do. I put it on Facebook like 10 days later. And so I wrote a poem kind of saying what it was like to put it on Facebook as a fictional Facebook post, kind of interspersed. And then I kind of like had a fictional like sort of family response to the Facebook post. And then I get a call. And it's from my mom, and because I put it up and I'm like so jazzed, I'm like, yeah, I got an award. But it's from my mom, and she says, "How could you do this to us?" And I'm just like, well, it's much worse. It's not you. Like this is just sort of something that real people have to face. And she's like, "No, it makes me look awful. I'm not really comfortable with you putting me in this position." And I'm like, "Well, you told me to start writing again." And I did, and it was wonderful. And I, won this award. She's like, "No, I'm sorry, we're done with you." So, they were. So I had to not do school for a little bit. Well, I had not to do school for 2.5 years. We're trying to work that out right now. I had to leave my apartment very suddenly. And then, I ended up in Philadelphia somehow, living the plot of Rent, which wasn't so bad. Like, I lived in a house with a drag king and a burlesque dancer, and I was the normal one because I did normal theater. So, it like ended up okay-ish. And then I decided that, yeah, I mean, living the plot of Rent is pretty cool, and I'm happy and extremely inebriated every single night. But I want to, I want to not have a present. I want to have a future. I want to kind of build myself up. So I decided to go back to college. And because I am cheap, I decided to do it with in-state benefits. So like I kind of decided to go back here and talk to my mom and talk to my family. And it was hard. It was really, really hard. And there were months that we hated each other. There were just a year, but there is like a light tunnel thing. We're on really, really great terms now. I'm going to school, like I go to Edgewood. I'm still not the greatest student, but whatever. We're just gonna leave that out. An odd thing happens when you're positive too. I'm the healthiest I've ever been because like I work out a lot. And yeah, I mean, I guess the point is that you can be at like the lowest point of your life and you can have family that doesn't support you, but you just keep on having conversations and you keep on living in the world and you keep on doing your best and things do get better. So thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Max. So, man, a lot of tough stories tonight, huh? Man, I've said it a few times tonight, but thank you so much for coming up and being brave and sharing that. Like that's awesome. Thanks.